All right, let's take a look at scatter plots and how they relate with correlation. So here we have time spent watching TV and then time spent doing homework. And the first two things I always look for when I'm looking for the story of a scatter plot is one, what's the general trend? And the first general trend is that looks like the more time the people spent watching TV or students spend watching TV, the less time they spend on average doing homework, with some exceptions here. And interestingly, I'm not sure if yeah, they don't really talk about this here. This is a case where I think the trend line doesn't really match the actual trend. You can see the general trend is a bit steeper of a line here. It's just these two outliers are influencing the data. But that's a little bit beyond what this question is asking. So let's set that aside for now. So it says, for these 24 students, as time spent watching TV increases, time spent doing homework tends to, well, time spent watching TV increases. That's going to be over on this side of the graph. So this is time spent watching TV. So we're talking as we get further and further over here to the right, what's happening to the homework? Well, on average, that number, that Y value, is tending to go down and down. So in general, this is a correct answer here, decrease. And in general, if it's a positive correlation, if it's an uphill slope, then these two numbers would match up, increase, increase, decrease, decrease. Or if it's a negative slope, like what we have here, it's going on a downhill, then these two numbers will always be opposite, or two words, sorry. Increase would go to decrease, and as one decreases, the other will increase. So they're going to travel together in a positive correlation and travel against each other in a negative correlation. So negative correlation in this case, we go opposite each other. For these 24 students, there's a negative correlation. So again, the sign of the slope and the sign of the correlation always match. Negative slope, negative correlation. Positive correlation, positive slope. The number itself, the correlation coefficient and the slope number, those generally won't match, but the sign will always match. So we have a downhill slope, a negative slope here. That also means a negative correlation. And again, that's why as one increases, the other one decreases. Line of best fit, we would predict that student watching 15 hours of TV would do homework for approximately. So what we're doing there, let me zoom in a little bit here. And we have 15 hours. We're in between the 14 and the 16 on the watching TV. And what we want to do there, we want to go up to where the line is, not where the X is. It says using the line of best fit. So this is on average, if we have this 15, we don't care about the specific data point from our study. We carry on average, which is this line here. And if you trace that back to the y-axis, you can see it's just a smidge below 15. So that the true answer there should be a little under 15. Now, I also want to mention something on this. So the correct answer there was 14.7. This particular student put 15.9, and that was counted wrong. I think what they were testing there is they wanted to see if you knew that it was the line you're going to and not that data point. And so I think that's why they did that. However, that one is so close, and I mean, your estimation has to be so precise there that I could easily see a case where a student knew that it was supposed to be on the line, but just kind of misinterpreted what that was, the 15.7 versus 4.9. If that would be your case, please email me and explain the situation. And as long as you do a good job justifying, I mean, if the data point's way up here and you're saying that, not so consistent. But if you're explaining, hey, I knew that I'm using the line of best fit, so I know it goes where the line would go over and hit the y-axis, but I couldn't really tell if that was 14 something or 15 something. Yeah, I'm happy to give credit because clearly you knew the concept in that case.